We've been fortunate with Penguin After Dark to get to travel to different places that we never thought we'd go before and experience events that we never thought we'd get to see. Been to Chicago and Atlanta, New Orleans, and of course all over Texas. But this last trip we made was to California, and we went to vend at the Northwest Leather Celebration in Sacramento. Link in the description. We thought we'd do something a little bit different with this video and have it be more of like a vlog. Still need to kind of dial in what we're doing, but maybe something that we do a little bit more of. Who knows, maybe start getting interviews with the other vendors and the promoters, turn it into something kind of cool. But don't worry, there'll still be build videos. I've got a couple of pretty cool furniture pieces coming up soon I'm going to be working on and building, and I'll be documenting that. So yeah, here's the trip. Oh, and we did get permission from the promoter and the social media director to film where we did film, but we didn't film any of the attendees just out of respect. So yeah, here's day one of the travel, where we left at 4 a.m. 4 hours out, we stopped to stretch our legs and use the bathroom, and then Miss Penguin was like, "Hey Daddy, look at that plateau. What's that?" And I said, "Nothing on the top of the bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds." They did have a pretty cool bathroom, and then we got back on the road. About 2 hours later, we stopped in Van Horn, Texas at another little rest area. And we're totally doing the tourist thing and making a lot of stops on the way there and back just because we can. But I mean, look at that view. And hubba hubba. After 8 hours on the road, we finally crossed into New Mexico, and I started getting tired, so I needed to take a nap, and I let Miss Penguin drive. But after about 14 hours of driving, we decided to stay the night in Tempe, Arizona, because we were fucking exhausted. Day two, and we're leaving pretty early again, so got to put in those miles. So just a little bit more driving and kind of checking out the scenery, and then we finally made it to California after 1,100 miles from home. We decided to pull over and kind of take in the desert scenery for a moment and just kind of check out what's going on and make a decision if we're going to do Joshua Tree or not. And we do decide to stop at Joshua Tree and again kind of check that out, doing the touristy thing, all good and dandy, and then back on the road. And it's funny because people were saying that this was going to be like a boring drive going the route we went, which was out I-10 all the way, and we actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, all the desert and stuff just was pretty cool. But then about an hour outside of Sacramento, started losing air pressure in one of my tires, and come to find out, radial poking through. Had to get that fixed, and then we made it another hour on our way and finally made it to Sacramento, California. Oh yeah.
If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling violet and hollering at your girl.
Day 3 of our trip, and it's also going to be the first day of vending and setup. And here's what the weather looked like. Oh yeah, so many people were jelly. So jelly. And then we got to pass by this cool bridge every day, which was pretty sweet. I don't know what the river is. I wasn't paying attention. So I'm sure if I looked it up, which I'm not going to, I could tell you. I like to be a mystery. Northwest Leather Celebration! Which this year it's home of the Northwest Boot Black, the Northwest Master Slave competitions, and the Northwest Person of Leather competitions. It's also hosting the Leather Quilt, which this thing is just impressive to look at, and this is actually only half of it. If you want to learn more about it, I've got information, link in the description. And now, 30 minutes of setup in a minute just to kind of show how that goes. So, check it out. And now let's talk about the vendors. We've got link in the description. The description. The description. The description. First up, we had Breathe Toys, which just made some beautiful floggers and impact toys, all handmade. They're definitely worth checking out. I mean, look at that stuff. Next was Innuendo Magazine, who makes a bunch of kinky and sexy coloring books with just phenomenal artwork, and he also loved showing off our Big Dick Energy paddle, so he was fun to be across from. Next is Torrid Timber, who just made like beautiful woodwork, furniture, and toys. I mean, look at that stuff. And they also make this thing, which I feel like a bunch of our boot black friends would really like. That's a portable boot black station, so if you're boot blacking, hit them up, because I'm watching them set that up and break it down. The thing is just pretty fucking cool. Next is Crafty Crystals, and I cannot tell you how many people I know that would love and go apeshit in this booth. I mean, they had so much cool, amazing stuff. And then if you've been to any kink, leather, or lifestyle event, you're gonna know who the Kink Shop is. There's no way around it. They have all the goodies all of the time, and they're everywhere. We love those. We love them. They're amazing. Next up is the Frugal Dom. Tons of canes and little bondage bears and the such, and beautiful floggers. This couple had an amazing setup with all their stuff. And then Chainmail by Shell. I really had to refrain from trying to buy so much shit from their table because their chainmail is on point. And then of course, Dark Garden. A bunch of beautiful corsets. All custom made and custom tailored to your size. Their stuff was just beautiful. Of course, can't forget the Sugar House. She had a bunch of really cool, cute little bondage bears and resin paddles and all kinds of goodies. And they were actually sitting right behind us, and they were fun to get to chat with and get to know. Then we had Bunny Flogger. Look at all those beautiful floggers. Their stuff is just works of art as well. And then of course, can't forget Bitches Love Leather. All types of harnesses and restraints and a whole bunch of insertables, hoods. Everything's handmade and just magnificent. Kind of proud that we got to be set up amongst so many amazing vendors and talented craftspeople. So yeah, that was fucking definitely awesome. You should check out every one of them because like the little videos just, or the little clips don't do any justice. And I'm hoping in the future we could actually interview some of these craft persons just so they can kind of promote and talk about their products and we can get to know them just a little bit better. So like I said, we're still new trying to figure out what this video is. So. After 3 days of vending, it's time to break down. We're pretty efficient when it comes to breaking down, so yeah, check it out. So it's 4:30 in the morning and we are
on the road again.
And we drive, it's pretty uneventful, drive for about 8 hours until we hit the Mojave Desert. Of course we gotta stop and check that out. Only I and a select few get to know what those pictures look like. And after 16 hours for the whole day, we end up in Albuquerque, New Mexico to stay the night. And there again, we get back on the road and we're passing through New Mexico and we see this town called Cuervo. It's a little ghost town. So of course we have to go and stop and check that out. It's pretty cool. When I planned this trip, I wanted to stop at Cadillac Ranch on the way back, and that's an art installment in Amarillo, Texas, where someone had taken a bunch of Cadillacs, stood them up on their nose end and buried the hoods, and people come and spray paint and tag and graffiti the cars and everything around it. And this penguin went ahead and left a little something for the Cadillac installment. It's actually a cock ring that I used to have, and she's been wearing it on her wrist for years. Of course, we have to tag a little penguin there. I'm pretty sure by the time I'm editing this, it's already been painted over. And then we finally make it home. We are exhausted. Look, this event was amazing. We met so many incredible people, had great conversations and made new friends, and we're planning on going back out again next year in 24. Northwest Leather Celebration has already posted the dates for their next event. So I say definitely go and check them out because we've got their website. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and oh yeah, be sure to do all the shit, the blah blah blah. Peace! Maybe get a little interviews with some of the vendors, get a little interview with the promoter of the event, and fuck, where's I going with that?
If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl.